The thing that messed people up is overanalyzing, thinking that they need to be better so somebody else can like them. And then they come off with insecurities, codependency, and they're looking for approval from other people. Hey girl, welcome back to the Discovering You podcast with your girl. It's Marina Octavia. I want to congratulate myself on having an intro because a video ago when I first decided I was going to be doing these little diaries, it's really just me discovering myself. But in doing so, I'm sharing it because I think it's going to help other people as well. I didn't have an intro. I didn't even know what I was doing. And now I'm like, okay, let's pick up the camera. I'm ready to go because I saw a video today, which is what we're going to be talking about, like confidence and how important it is and how far I've come from being somebody who was anxious attachment, having low self-esteem, pretty much just dating whoever gave me an opportunity because I thought that's what I had to do, to being more selectful, but also recognizing like people are not attracted to the things you think they're attracted to. People are attracted to confidence. So where you think you may be having a downfall or you're not that good at something and that's why you're single and that's why things are not working out for you, that's literally probably not the case. It's probably a lack of confidence and relying on other people to be codependent so they can tell you what your value or your worth is. So let's go ahead and jump into today's video. I just want to add a little disclaimer. This is me trying my best at this stuff. So my thoughts or the words that I may say, they may sound a little jumbled. They might get all over the place. I don't want to edit this stuff too much because then it makes it more complicated. And right now my goal is to just get in the groove of things, learn how to trust myself, and just become more one with this idea of this version of me. Okay. So I'm not going to do too many edits. So if it comes out a little choppy, let's just ride with it. Hopefully you catch on to what I'm trying to say. Where this video came from was being on dating sites and being attracted to a certain group of people or whatever, and then noticing maybe you and yourself don't align with those group of people in the way that you think you need to. And then the other part was a video that I watched of a young lady who is neurodivergent. She has ADHD, and not like the rest of, well, some people say like, oh, I have ADHD and it just makes me a little bit like off track. I mean, I feel like she may have a little bit of ADHD, meaning like autism and ADHD or whatever, just because of how she was presenting. But the point is, she was saying how she doesn't feel like the type of man that she's attracted to, she's their type or whatever. And the things that she was basing it off of was things that she cannot change about herself. For example, growing up in Atlanta, she wanted to date African-American man, but because when you're neurodivergent, you probably talk a little different. You might be more pronounced or whatever. You might have more of a softer personality. And in Black culture, you can literally be identified because you're soft, because you're easygoing, because you talk proper, because you're not loud, you're white. That's the alternative, because everything that is opposite of what Black is considered white. So they would consider her to be whitewashing and they would not be attracted to her. And then that made her feel bad about herself. Or she would talk to men who would start off talking to her, maybe interact with her, and then they'll fall off. And she called it romantic ghosting. And when she was saying these things, I'm like, we might have a beautiful term called romantic ghosting, but if somebody was into you and then they stopped talking to you shortly after because you made a joke, that's not because of your autism or your ADHD or whatever mental health issue you have. That's because that person was never really into you to begin with. It's not even about you. Take you out, put a neurotypical person in, and have them repeat the same thing. If they're not that into that person, they're going to react the same way. Sometimes people come up just because they want to see what it's about. It's like food. When you go to a restaurant, you don't know if the food's going to be good. You just try it. Either you're going to like it or you're not. If you're not going to like it, it's nothing personal towards the food. Doesn't mean the food is bad. It just means that food is not for you. But the next people that's coming in and out the door, that might be their favorite restaurant. So taking it personal means that you already have this issue with yourself, and now you're projecting it, saying that people don't like me because I'm whatever and I make awkward jokes. No, 9 times out of 10, whoever it's for you, they're probably going to say, oh, that joke was awkward, but it's not going to stop them from pursuing you. And if somebody's whispering a bunch of woos in your ears, like, oh, I'm happy to get to know you. I can see myself with you. And they haven't even gotten the opportunity to really get to know you, but they're already talking about a future with you and they're already talking about doing things with you. Unfortunately, love, that is love bombing. That means they came in with the intentions to blow some shit up. They did not come into the situation with the intentions to grow or create a foundation or nothing. They're just here to blow some shit up. And that's not even about you. That's the ego thing. Love bombing is egotistic. It's their way of showing up so they can fill up their cup with your energy, with all the attention that you're going to give them because they're saying all these things. And then once their cup is full, once they're overloaded, now they need to relax. Now they need to go exhale all that because they need to get all that energy off of them or whatever, because now they're full. Love bombing is not about you being weak or an easy target or anything like that. It's literally because that egotistic ass person needs to fill up their cup. They have low self-esteem. They find value in people praising them, whatever it may be. And now you're going to be the reservoir. You're going to be the one that they pull from. And then once they're full, they're going to bounce away. And then once they get empty, they're going to either come back to you or go somewhere else. It's not even about the person that they're pulling from. It's about them needing to be filled up themselves because they're not doing the internal work to fix that. So if that's number one. Number two is, if you are talking to someone who does not like certain characteristics about you that you can't even change, i.e. your race, maybe it's the way that you sound when you talk or whatever. If it's not like something you can work on and you don't want to work on it, all right? If it's a body shape of yours, whatever it may be, that person is not your type. I used to tell myself, like, I have an issue with memory or whatever, because of ADHD, or I'm smart, but I'm not able to always retain the knowledge. So sometimes people can ask me a question like, oh, do you know this? And I don't know it firsthand. And it can be kind of embarrassing because sometimes it can be even in the area of study that I've went to college for, and they expect me to know this, but I don't. And for a while, that made me feel like I wouldn't belong in certain rooms, or I couldn't date certain people because I would feel dumb in their presence. And then I would be like, oh my God, I'm not good enough for my type. My type is the person who can understand how my brain works, or desires to understand how my brain works, and not use it against me or find it as a fault. My type is the person who wants to love me for who I am. And I had to learn that. If you have to become something else, that's not your fucking type. That means you're attracted to people who's not even vibing with you. That means you have low self-esteem. And that leads me to confidence. Confidence is what thrives. Confidence is what people like. I don't care what your fault is, what your default is, what your shortcoming is. If you own that shit, nobody else can make you feel bad about it. So for example, if you have ADHD or autism, or anything else, the thing that mess people up is overanalyzing, thinking that they need to be better so somebody else can like them. And then they come off with insecurities, codependency, and they're looking for approval from other people. That's what messes them up, because now you are making yourself a target for people who like to abuse others, okay? Opposed to, if you own that shit. I have a memory issue. I'm going to say some shit wrong. My vocabulary is not that big, not because I don't read, not because I'm not educated, but because I have a hard time remembering things. And if that's uncomfortable for you, I'm sorry, love, but that's just what you're going to get over here. That's that's just what you're going to get over here. That's just who I am. And when you own that, people are like, oh, okay, I get it, but if you try to shy away from it, now it's a problem, opposed to just, there's plenty of quirky people out there that have amazing love lives. There's plenty of nerds out there. There's plenty of women that love sex. There's plenty of people who struggling financially. There's plenty of people in the same predicament that you're in that have thriving or relationships. So it is not necessarily whatever area that you're in or whatever you're dealing with that stops people from attracting to you. But if you can own the confidence of, this is what it is for me, and this is one thing I can't change, so you're either going to accept that or you're not, versus, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm working on that, and you're either going to accept that or not. You own it. You become comfortable with it. You fall in love with the process of it. And then that makes the next person feel obligated to do the same or move the fuck along. Okay. So if you're in this dating scene, and you're online or wherever it may be, if you're attracted to a certain type of group of people, whatever, you don't have to minimize yourself like, oh, that person's never going to like me because I don't have this, I don't look like that. I don't give a fuck about the person who's not going to like me for what I don't have. I want the person who's going to like me for where I'm at. That is my type. The person who likes me, not the person that I have to change for. Because when you do that, you are inviting conditional love into your life. You're inviting people who are only going to accept you for where you're at in this moment, but they're not going to be able to grow with you. And And that's not what you want. You don't want someone who wants you because you're perfect. You don't want to put that energy into the universe and then you keep attracting these temporary ass things. You want unconditional love. People who's going to accept you for where you're at and continue to grow with you as you grow with yourself. If there's things that you can change about yourself, absolutely fucking change them so you can be more comfortable with yourself. Not so you can attract people that's going to like it, so that you can be more comfortable with yourself. And if there's things that you cannot change, it's just who you are. You were born that way. Own that shit so nobody can make you feel bad about it. And you will attract the person who's more attracted to your confidence than whatever shortcoming you may perceive yourself as having. And yes, it can be scary out here, but confidence is the most powerful thing. Because when you think about it, an asshole or a jerk or a man that love bombs, they don't always be attractive, right? Not all of them have money, right? But they're confident, and that's where they're always able to find another fucking person, another victim or whatever. Even a narcissistic woman sometimes, you know what I mean? You see women, you're like, oh my gosh, she's not that pretty, but she's confident and she owns that shit. And whatever she's good at, she's good at. And what she ain't good at, she's not good at. And she ain't trying to be that. And as long as you can get more comfortable in owning your own personality, who you are, that is what gravitates. That is what projects. That is the best thing that you could actually ever do for yourself. So happy dating. And if you like this content, please come back, like, subscribe, comment, and do all those beautiful, amazing things. And thank you for listening to my podcast. And if you got this far in the video, please show me some love because I want to boost my ego. Okay. Anyways, I love you guys and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.